Hey, Shalom, Shalom, call hello, Yahweh Shemel Shah. It's Revelation 2 and verse 26 and 7. It reads, and he that overcometh, talking about the elect, and keepeth my works unto the end, those works being, occupied until the Lord comes, and keeping the commandments, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And the elect, or the nation of Israel, chiefly the elect, and the rest of the nation of Israel and the kingdom, is gonna have these nations in slavery, brutal slavery, worse than what we went through. All right. It says, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father. So Hamashiach Yahushua was given dominion. All right. He was given dominion, and the elect being joint heirs is going to receive those same blessings. All right. So I got a few precepts lined up, but first let me get the definition of power. It comes from the G14 or 1849. It says
Strong's G 1849 exousia.
exousia. It's power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases, in righteousness, leave or permission, physical and mental power. The elect's gonna have the spiritual powers. All right. It says the ability or strength with which one is endued, which he either possesses or exercises. And we're gonna have power through the Spirit. It says the power of authority, influence, and of right privilege, the power of rule or government, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. So the 144,000 is going to have it's going to be a certain hierarchy that they're going to have. It's going to be a governmental structure under Hamashiach Yahushua and King David, where it's going to have subordinates, and they're going to have to abide by the commands that they have, that they say. It says authority over mankind. All right. The power of judicial decisions. So, different brothers are going to have the power to judge, make the judicial decisions. All right. It says authority to manage domestic affairs. All right. It says a thing subject to authority or rule. Brothers going to have a certain rank. They're going to have a certain authority. One who possesses authority, a ruler, a human magistrate, and brothers are going to they're going to have a certain authority because the Lord deals with order. All right, let everything be done decently and in order. So Esau has his order, on the left hand side, on this side, which is totally off. But going into the kingdom is going to be way better. It's going to be done decently and in order. The earth is going to rejoice. All right, everybody's going to be rejoicing because right now we at everybody is mourning. The wicked is in rule. He fucks up the air with chemtrails. You got the cement everywhere. People got bad backs, bad feet. The food's fucked up. Just everything is fucked up, man. Because the wicked is in authority. It says the leading and more powerful among created, being superior to man, spiritual potentates. All right. It says leading and more powerful among created beings superior to man. So the 144,000 more specifically are going to be more superior, to man. They're going to be more superior than these heathens. All right. It says, as well as, 2/3, they're going to have a everlasting, authority or rank. It says a sign of the husband's authority over his wife, and that's going to come back in the kingdom, right? Because right now, the society pushes feminism, a heavy vibration of feminism. So a man can't have total control necessarily over his woman, because these women, they can do what they want in the society. It says the veil with which propriety require a woman to cover herself. All right, and these women gonna be covering themselves up in the kingdom. It's not gonna be no yoga pants, out in public and stuff like that. They're gonna be covered up in public. It says the sign of regal authority, a crown. It's gonna be a literal crown. All right, let's get these precepts. This is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 2. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. So the nation of Israel is going to take the nation of Edom and the rest of these heathen captives, whose captives we were. You had the Arab slave trade, you had the transatlantic slave trade, and many, many more others. Even modern day slavery. Because we're just property to the state. At first it was private property, with the different owners, but now we're property of the state. That's why you got the like birth certificate, the social security card, and stuff like that. We're subject to payments. We get a certain amount of taxes taken out, and then when we go and buy stuff, more taxes are taken out. And that's just paying these elites. They're making money off of us. It says whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So the nation of Israel is going to have these heathen in slavery. This is Revelation 13 and verse 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Those men that the Spirit is dwelling with, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. The so-called white man had the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, or chiefly the the Negroes, in hard bondage. With Gad and Issachar. They had the genocide of Gad, and then even now, all the whole nation is oppressed in Babylon the Great. We're all in captivity. We're subject to payments. We're in servitude. All right. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So the so-called white man did so much killing in the past, and even to this present day. Just reiterating, with the chemtrails, with the food, and even literal killing. He kills us in these streets each and every day. And through his different experiments, the whole thing going on right now, and then like stuff with the like with Gad, he would give them blankets of like smallpox, the Tuskegee experiment, and many more others. All right, that's how he killed with the sword. It must be killed with the sword. So how he killed us, that's how he's gonna be killed. Here is the patience, the long suffering, and the faith of the saints. This is what the saints believe. We're waiting on the Lord to come back so we can put this devil into chains, man, for all his wickedness that he's done to the tribes. All right. This is Psalm chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, thou shalt says, thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. And this is just talking about how we going to be ruling over these heathen, man. Starting with Esau, Edom. We're going to break them to pieces, all right? For everything that they did to, the nation of Israel. All right, this is what Yahushua, Mashiach Yahushua was received from the Most High Yahweh. All right, and being joint heirs, we're going to receive that same power. Going back to Revelation 2 and 26, that same power. Let's get it. It's Revelation 2 and 26. It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, the man that, keeps the Lord's commandments and keeps his word and, is in the spirit of prophecy, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron as the vessels of a potter, that Slakia, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron, talking about the hardcore bondage that they gonna serve. They gonna have to drink of that cup. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. So we gonna be breaking these heathen back in, man, for everything that they did to the tribes, man. So Lord willing, that was edifying. Call Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Bahashim, Kakadash Shalom.